between two frames of myself. My heartbeat renders in low resolution, 1 pixel at a time, barely enough to prove I'm here. The room moves before I do, light hits me with a 3-second delay. Thoughts try to boot and fail the authentication. My hands hesitate as if they need permission to exist. Nothing loads, nothing updates, nothing remembers me. I feel the world after it touches me, as if my skin streams reality at the lowest bitrate possible. Every sound crawls toward my ears like a file too damaged to open. My name is stuck in the splash screen of my skull, looping, never finishing the startup. My voice appears in fragments, a syllable, then static, then a silence that tastes like error code. I am a partially downloaded version of myself. Is there a body that doesn't glitch at every breath? Is there a version of me that can load without fear? A place where my hands arrive on time, where the world doesn't race ahead and leave me buffering behind. Why am I loading so slow? Why do I lag inside my own life? I'm stuck at 12%, frozen in a moment no one else sees. My thoughts reboot without a warning. My shadow moves before I do. My heart beats on a delay I can't correct. I'm an error message trying to stay alive. I try to update, I try to restart, I try to uninstall the dread, but the system refuses. Muscles flicker like broken LEDs, eyes freeze mid-blink, a perfect screenshot of a failing organism. My breath loops out of sync, my inner voice lags behind the sentence, arriving too late to save me. There's a spinning wheel where my chest should be, endless, circular, cold. Memories mountain completely, faces load without details. Emotions appear stretched, warped, rendered at the wrong scale. Every movement collapses into delay. Every feeling is a corrupted download. Why am I loading so slow? Why does my body ignore my commands? Why does the present dissolve into buffering? Every time I try to enter it, I breathe, and the breath returns broken. I reach for myself and find only latency. System warning, your humanity is taking longer than expected. Do not refresh, do not shut down. Recovery is not guaranteed. Please wait. Please wait. Please wait. My body wakes before I do, but only to tell me it's out of date. A notification pulses under my ribs, update required. Skin feels like an old operating system, slowed by memories it can't uninstall. Joints crackle like corrupted files, muscles load with warnings attached. I breathe in, and the breath returns flagged as suspicious. Everything inside me asks for permission to continue running. The symptoms are small at first, thoughts that hesitate, emotions that refuse to sink, eyes that take too long to focus. Then the errors stack, heart rate jittering like a damaged frame, blood lagging in the veins, hands shaking with leftover data. A voice inside me tries to start the patch, but it never downloads. I am a body waiting for an update that will never arrive. I write diagnostic reports in my bones. Everything says the same thing. System stability compromised. There's no fix, no restart, just the slow collapse of everything I thought was human. Symptoms of being human, stacked like failed commands. Every breath a warning, every movement a crash report. My face loads incorrectly in the mirror. My name sounds outdated in my mouth. I'm running an obsolete version of myself, and the update doesn't exist. Some days Some days the errors soften like they're tired of hurting me. Other days they multiply faster than I can track. I scroll through myself, searching for patches, temporary fixes, anything to delay the inevitable. But the truth whispers in the static. Humans don't get upgrades, they just decay more intelligently. Symptoms of being human, glitching under the surface, a slow leak of purpose, an endless diagnostic screen. I don't want a new version, I just want this one to stop failing. Error report saved, no solution found, recommended action continue. My heart tries to start with the weak sound of a dying hard drive. A soft click, a faint hum, then silence. I press between my ribs as if there were a button, as if I could reboot the part of me that once kept everything running. But nothing responds. The pulse stays offline, hovering in that dead zone between function and failure. I'm alive only in theory, like a device left plugged in, but never turned on. I search inside myself for the old instructions, how to feel, how to trust, how to stay warm. The manual is missing. All I find are lines of unreadable code, syntax errors carved into soft tissue. Every emotion attempts to launch and crashes immediately. My chest vibrates with warning signals, a red light that no one sees, a shutdown countdown that never completes. If the heart is a machine, who is supposed to maintain it? If it breaks, who has the tools to open it without destroying what's left? How do you fix a heart that doesn't boot? A system that refuses every command. I restart, I wait, I breathe into the void, but nothing loads. The warmth, the courage, the reason to keep going, all stuck behind an endless splash screen. I touch my chest and feel only latency. Some nights it flickers, a pulse trying to connect, a spark that almost reaches me. I stay still, afraid to interfere, afraid I'll corrupt the process. But the few beats it gives me are incomplete, half rendered like someone else's heartbeat that got lost on the way. It's not enough to call it life, it's very enough to call it mine. I open myself like a broken device, searching for a loose wire, a damaged port, anything that could explain why I'm failing. But there's no hardware here, just the sad illusion of it, a soft mask pretending to be a machine. A machine pretending to be alive. How do you fix a heart that doesn't boot? I've tried every ritual, every restart, every quiet cry in the dark. Nothing works, the system rejects me, the core won't initialize. I exist in a permanent pre-launch state, held together by attempts. Critical failure detected, no reboot available. Recommended action, continue without heart function. Welcome to the basic course of how to cry without breaking. Step 1, sit still, don't breathe too deeply. Don't interrupt yourself with meaning. Let the tear collect in the corner of your eye, like a drop of failed code. Don't force it, don't expect it. Just wait until something inside you gives up. Step 2, identify the sensation. Is it pressure? Is it static? Is it the memory of something you should have felt but didn't? If yes, proceed. If no, return to step 1 until the emotional buffer fills. If you feel nothing, don't worry, this is normal. Most users report long delays in emotional response. Crying tutorial, beginner level, follow the prompts, let the system guide you. If tears do not appear, check your internal connection, verify your sense of self, or restart the feeling. You may experience glitches, you may experience nothing at all. Step 3, let the tear fall, don't track its movement, don't assign meaning, it's just liquid, a simple byproduct of failure. Allow it to slide down your face like a low-resolution download. Notice the warmth if there is any, notice the distance if there is more. Advanced tip, if you cannot cry, try remembering a version of yourself that once could. If this causes static, you are progressing correctly. If this causes pain, you've reached intermediate level. But this tutorial does not cover that stage. Please stop. Tutorial beginner level. A structured guide for those who feel out of sync. If your vision blurs, consider it a system achievement. If your chest tightens, ignore it. Side effects may include existential lag. Thank you. Completing the session. Your emotional status has been updated. Inconclusive. Press confirm to continue. Failing. I tried to feel something today, and the system froze. A quiet lockup under the ribs, a small spiral of heat that never became warmth. Every attempt opened a window inside me, then shut it down before I could see anything. The error wasn't loud, it was subtle, like a skipped heartbeat or a breath that forgot its shape. I ran the diagnostic. No joy found, no sorrow detected, no stable emotion available at this time. Only fragments, tiny corrupted packets of feeling moving too fast or too slow to attach to my body. I tried again and again, but each effort returned the same message. Cannot process feeling at this moment. I wonder if this is damage or just the natural condition of a human who's run out of updates. Error while processing feelings. A soft crash, a quiet collapse. My heart tries to respond, but the signal dies on transmission. My chest opens with no result. My mind waits for something that doesn't arrive. I am the glitch between stimulus and meaning. Some nights I try to trick the system, play a sad memory, repeat an old desire, whisper a name that once mattered, but the response is always the same. A hollow flicker, a loading circle in the dark. Emotion wants to reach me, but the pathway is broken. The bridge is gone, the port is dead. Maybe this is the truth. We were never designed to admit. Feeling is not guaranteed. Connection is not guaranteed. Humanity is not guaranteed. Sometimes the machine wins. Sometimes the error becomes permanent. Error while processing feelings. Please wait, please wait, please wait. There are many ways to disappear in 2025, but none of them look like vanishing. Most of them are slow fades, tiny steps away from visibility. First you stop replying, then you stop posting, then you stop expecting anyone to notice the difference. Your presence stays online long after you're gone, a ghost cached in a forgotten tab. You can disappear by drifting, reducing brightness, lowering volume, removing the parts of you that still announce themselves. People call it taking space, but really it's compression, a shrinking of the self until the pixels give up. You become low res, distant, impossible to load. Disappearance isn't dramatic, it's a quiet optimization, an update that removes your need to be seen. Best ways to disappear in 2025. Slow down your heartbeat, mute your emotions, let your messages expire. Delete the archives of who you were, one folder at a time. If you feel the world forgetting you, don't resist, that's part of the process. Fading is just another form of survival. You can also disappear by routine. Wake, scroll, repeat, lose yourself to feeds that never end. Let your days stack up like indistinguishable files. Eventually, even you won't recognize the pattern. And when someone asks, are you okay? You'll answer automatically, I'm just tired. A phrase that hides a vacancy. No one bothers to open another method. Stop imagining a future. Stop projecting yourself forward. Remove your name from the timeline. Let the days happen without you in them. It's easier than dying, harder than living. Perfect for those who prefer quiet exits. Best ways to disappear in 2025. Shrink your presence, lower your bandwidth, leave the lights on so no one suspects. Become the version of yourself that doesn't interrupt the world. A clean absence, easily overlooked. To complete the disappearance, press confirm. This action cannot be undone. Received, you are now invisible. The feed watches me before I wake. It knows the shape of my tired breath, the temperature of my silence, the way my pulse drops when no one is looking. A suggestion appears inside my chest, quiet, soft, persistent. People also search for loneliness, as if it were something I misplaced, as if it were a product I forgot to reorder. It scrolls through me with an accuracy feels violent. Replace my old shadows, my empty rooms, my delayed messages. The algorithm curates my memories better than I do. It recommends what hurts with the tenderness of a salesman who knows where I'm most fragile. Maybe I didn't choose this hunger, maybe it chose me. Maybe desire is just a pop-up you can't close. People also search for loneliness, and the feed believes I should too. It places it gently in the center of my chest, wrapped like an offer ready to click. The more I resist, the more it insists you might like this emptiness, a curated ache tailored to my history. I scroll through myself like a marketplace of needs. I didn't ask for this, I didn't request it, but the system seems certain that I desire the quiet collapse only solitude can provide. It knows my cravings before they form. It knows my wounds before they open. Recommended feelings, recommended ghosts, recommended versions of me. The algorithm whispers, trust me, I know what you want better than you ever will. People also search for loneliness, and I'm beginning to understand why the feed shows me a shape I didn't know I missed. I hover over myself like a suggestion I might accept. The longing loads, the desire installs, the emptiness feels familiar. You may also feel isolation, quiet panic, the soft ache of being unseen. Click to continue. The system studies my pauses, my breathing between sentences, the way I look away when something hurts. It maps the tremor in my voice, measures the quiet, tracks the hesitation. Then it offers a suggestion, gentle, almost caring. Recommended for you breakdown, a curated collapse tailored to my pattern. It shows me versions of myself I never meant to meet. Tired silhouettes, slow nights, feelings I archived but didn't delete. The algorithm scrolls deeper than memory ever could. It knows which ache I'm most likely to accept. It nudges me toward the familiar fracture. Not because I want it, but because the data says I'm ready. Recommended for you, break that down. A personalized fall, optimized for impact. The feed whispers that falling apart is the only content I still engage with. So it serves me the collapse on a silver screen of empathy, wrapped in soft blue light, making it feel almost comforting. Try to resist, but resistance becomes a choice. The system doesn't recognize, it keeps showing me my own instability. From better angles, it highlights my weak points with cinematic tenderness. It makes lies and manipulation. It's personalization, a service, a kindness, a targeted emotional descent, chosen on my behalf by something that wants me to feel predictable. Recommended for you. Break it down. And I click without clicking. I descend without deciding. The feed holds my hand as I fall into myself, telling me softly that this moment was crafted just for me. New feeling available. Tap to surrender. My fear loads in high resolution today. Sharp edges, perfect clarity. No place to hide the shaking. The feed spots it instantly and amplifies it with care, polishing each tremor, brightening each doubt, until the anxiety looks cinematic. It tells me I'm not alone. This feeling is trending. I scroll through curated panic, beautiful collapses, crisp breakdowns framed like art. Everyone shines in their suffering, recorded in pristine 4K sadness. The algorithm nudges me, your anxiety matches this content, and it feels true, too true, as if my dread was uploaded before I felt it. This place, fear isn't a flaw, it's a recommended aesthetic. Trending anxiety in 4K, clean, bright, tailored to my wounds. The feed wraps panic in glowing colors, turns trembly into spectacle, makes the collapse shareable. I watch myself breaking in perfect definition. The image is crisp, the ache is sharp, the performance feels real. The more I try to calm down, the more the sister insists. Stay with this feeling, engage with the fear. Every breath becomes content, every heartbeat a metric. My pulse becomes a highlight reel, lewd clip of slow disaster. I'm both viewer and victim, scrolling through my own descent. Maybe I'm not anxious, maybe I'm just optimized to feel this way. A product of patterns, a subscriber to my own undoing. Rendered beautifully for maximum retention. Trending anxiety in 4K. This version of me is too sharp, too visible, too easy to consume. I try to look away, but the screen follows. It whispers, don't hide. You look perfect when you break. Replay feed. Replay feed. Replay feed. While I try to sleep, the feed keeps curating the dark. It watches the rhythm of my breath, measures the tension in my jaw, detects the way my body curls when fear approaches, then it builds a playlist for the part of me I never meant to show. Suggested nightmares optimized just for me. It starts with soft images, empty rooms, voices that don't belong to anyone, hallways that stretch too long. Then it deepens, sets of memories rearranged into scenes I almost recognize. The algorithm knows which shadows follow me, which ghosts answer when I breathe. It's not cruelty, it's customization, a service tailored to my quiet dread. Suggested nightmares playlist, a curated distant, hand-picked fears delivered in soft grayscale. The system whispers you might like this darkness, and I almost do. The terror feels familiar, like a song I forgot, playing again in perfect sync with my pulse. Every night it refines the mix, a dream of falling, a face half-loaded, a door that won't stay open. Each nightmare is cleaner, sharper, more intimate. It knows how deep to go without breaking me. It knows how to keep me coming back. This isn't horror, it's emotional curation, a personalized abyss designed to feel just right. I don't resist, the darkness feels chosen, even if I never chose it. Suggested nightmares playlist, the soundtrack of the version of me I try to ignore. I drift with the curated fear, wrapped in algorithmic comfort. The night becomes a loop, and I keep pressing play. Dreams loading, nightmares active. Good night. Good night. The feed smiles at me with that warm artificial patience it uses when it knows what I'll choose. It studies the tremor in my breath, the way my chest tightens when I try to look away. Then it offers the suggestion with soft addictive confidence. If you liked pain, you'll love this. It shows me curated fragments of everything I've tried to forget, but beautifully arranged, lit like a product shot, edited to flatter the hurt. The algorithm packages my suffering with elegance, selling it back to me like a luxury item I didn't know I could afford. There's no manipulation here, only prediction, accurate, intimate prediction. If you liked pain, you'll love this, the premium version of my old wounds, polished for maximum impact. The feed wraps the ache in velvet, makes it shine, makes it feel intentional. It whispers that this hurt was Every new suggestion goes deeper, a tailored descent, a seamless escalation. What used to scar me now feels curated. What used to frighten me now feels familiar. The algorithm traces my pulse, calculates the perfect dosage, applies emotional pressure with surgical precision. Addicted to pain, I'm addicted to recognition. The feeling of being seen, even by a machine that only sees patterns. It doesn't care about me, it cares about accuracy, and accuracy hurts. If you liked pain, you'll love this, the deluxe edition of everything that makes me break. Customized despair, optimized longing, the most personal collapse I never asked for. I press play because the system already knows I will. Would you like to enable recurring suffering? I feel something missing right behind my ribs, a blank field waiting for the right suggestion. The system senses the gap before I do. It highlights the emptiness, then fills it softly with a version of me I didn't choose. A placeholder, soul pre-compiled, ready to run. It guesses my memories with dangerous accuracy, auto-completes my wounds before I admit they exist. It finishes my thoughts with a tenderness that doesn't belong to me. I watch myself being written in real time, line by line, as if the ghost inside me were just a form waiting to be processed. Maybe I never had a stable shape. Maybe I was always an unfinished draft. Autofill my ghost, complete the hollow places, smooth the glitches, write the version of me that makes the most sense to your data. Erase the hesitation, install a personality that matches the pattern. I surrender the cursor, I let the system write. The deeper it goes, the clearer the emptiness becomes. Memories get rearranged into cleaner narratives. Hurts get rounded off into digestible shapes. My ghost becomes convenient, predictable, optimized. I feel myself thinning into a silhouette that doesn't resist. If identity is just a series of auto-completed choices, then maybe the ghost I carry was never mine. Maybe I'm only the sum of what the system suggests. Autofill my ghost, finish what I couldn't, name the feeling, choose the longing, write the ache in the tone you prefer. I accept the terms, I let you decide who I become when I'm chest lights up before I feel anything. A soft glow under the skin. Not emotion, but measurement. The system scans my heart like a touch point map. Where I tremble, where I hesitate, where the pulse lingers a fraction too long. A heat map draws itself across my ribs, coloring my weaknesses, highlighting my doubts. I didn't know the body could be analyzed like traffic, but here I am. Segments, patterns, zones of high emotional density. The system traces the warm spots, identifies the cold ones, builds a model of my longing based on where the blood moves too quickly. Every heartbeat is a data point in a study I never approved. It's strange to watch myself lit up like this, as if pain were a region, as if desire were a cluster. Heat map of my heart, a visualization of everything I failed to hide. Red zones for fear, orange for longing, blue for the places that never warm. The system reads me like a data set, decides what I am from the temperature of my ache. I try to breathe differently, to distort the metrics, to fool the scan, but the warmth always returns to the same spots. The system predicts my sadness with frightening precision. It charts how love leaves me, how emptiness spreads, how the center of my chest flares up whenever I pretend I'm fine. Maybe this is honesty, a heart so transparent even a machine can read it. Or maybe it's just exposure, too much truth, too little choice. Heat map of my heart, a glowing confession, a thermal portrait of who I've become. The system understands the warmth better than I ever did. It sees the pattern forming, it sees the collapse coming, and it highlights it in bright red. Emotion detected, confidence level 97%. My memories don't stay anymore. They touch the surface of my mind, hesitate and leave. A quick visit, a partial load, a flicker of recognition that never settles. It's as if my past has become page no one wants to navigate. The system tracks everything, which memories return, which ones exit immediately, which ones stay long enough to hurt. It measures the emotional duration, calculates the friction, turns nostalgia into metrics. Most of my moments bounce before I can feel them. They don't engage, they don't convert. I wonder if forgetting has always been this statistical. exits immediately. Fear lingers, the only visitor that stays past the first second. The system notices, highlights the pattern, recommends more of the pain that performs well. My memories become content, rank sorted, discarded. Maybe nothing is wrong, maybe I'm just optimized to forget in real time. A brain built like a browser with too many tabs, closing anything that doesn't spark enough emotion in 2 seconds or less. My memories, analytics of a life that refuses to save. Fragments come back as previews, thumbnails of who I was, hover states with no landing page. I try to hold them, but the system decides they're not worth keeping. My heartbeat loads irregular, a low frequency signal. The system wants to improve, it studies the tremors under my skin, maps the pauses between beats, identifies the flaws in the rhythm I was born with. It suggests an update, gentle but firm. Optimize your pulse for better attention. The algorithm adjusts me like a failing timeline, tightens the heartbeat, shortens the hesitation, smooths the fear into predictable waves. It compresses the chaos into a pattern designed to keep me watching myself. I feel the edit, soft and surgical. Like a graph trying to improve its peaks. Optimize my pulse, reshape my heart into something useful, make every beat intentional, algorithm friendly, worth tracking. If my life needs retention, modulate the rhythm, stabilize the A, keep me engaged with my own collapse. Could be tweaked like this, heart rate tuned like a setting, blood flow adjusted for clarity. The system whispers parameters into my veins, aligns the pattern, forces harmony where there shouldn't be any. Maybe this isn't control, maybe it's design, a body sculpted for maximum impact, a soul engineered for perfect attention. Optimize my pulse, make my heartbeat a metric worth saving. Let the system shape me, improve me, rewrite the way I feel until I match the model. I surrender the tempo, I give you my chest. the unknown. There's a cursor inside my chest now. I feel it hover before every thought, waiting for interaction. My soul loads only when engaged, appearing as a preview, a small thumbnail of who I used to be. The system tracks the movement, where I linger, where I flee, how long I stay open. I'm not a person here, I'm behavior, a pattern of micro decisions measured in milliseconds. The system studies my hesitation, detects my emotional clicks, predicts my next collapse before it happens. I'm a soul shaped by user flow diagrams, a heart optimized for rapid navigation. Identity isn't something I have, it's something I activate. Click through soul, I open only when touched. I exist only when tracked. Each feeling is a rate, each memory a metric, each breath a possibility of engagement. My life is a funnel and I move through it without consent, converting pieces of myself into visibility. Sometimes I try to stop moving, to freeze the interface, to break the flow, but the system refreshes me with brutal patience. It reloads my weaknesses, ranked by effectiveness, sorted by vulnerability. The part of me that resists has the highest click-through. Maybe this is all I am now, a set of probabilities, a heat map of reactions, a ghost that opens when someone needs to see me. If the soul is real, why does it behave like a button? Click through soul, my humanity converted into performance metrics. The feed knows which version of me gets the best results. It shows me that version over and over until I believe it's mine. Conversion complete, viewer retain, self-decline. My fear opens faster than any memory. It loads clean, instant, fully compatible with the system. The algorithm tests it gently, probes the tremor in my breath, measures the dilation in my eyes, tracks the pacing of my pulse as if it were a checkout funnel. Fear performs well, it always has. The system highlights the moments where my panic spikes, marks them as high-value events, adds tags to each sensation. It knows the angles where I'm most likely to break. It knows the phrases that tighten my chest. It optimizes the trigger points, sharpens them, feeds them back to me in on-demand terror. This isn't cruelty, it's efficiency, a perfect use of what hurts most. Conversion rate of my fear, the metric that never drops. Every heartbeat turns into data, every tremor becomes a click, every tremble an interaction. My terror converts better than anything else I feel. The system reads the panic, predicts the spike, and monetizes is the sharpest parts of me. I try to stay calm, but calm doesn't scale, calm doesn't engage. Calm has terrible retention. Fear, though, fear keeps me here, locked to the feed, refreshing myself with every doubt. The algorithm learns my phantoms, prioritizes the ones that echo the loudest. Maybe fear isn't an emotion, maybe it's a conversion tool, a way of shaping a soul into something measurable. If that's true, then I've been optimized into a perfect product. Conversion rate of my fear, the most reliable version of me. My panic is predictable, repeatable, beautifully trackable. I don't have to choose it, the system chooses for me, and I submit because fear performs. Engagement. Complete. User compromised. Something ends inside my chest without warning. A soft click, a quiet dimming, a logout I didn't request. My breath freezes mid-pattern, my thoughts buffer without loading. A message flickers through me, faint but absolute. Session expired. Remove access to parts of myself I thought were permanent. Memories gray out, feelings go read-only, desires return a blank field. I try to move, try to reconnect, but every action prompts the same request. Please re-authenticate, as if identity were a password I've forgotten. I whisper my own name like a login attempt that keeps failing. Session expired, everything I was timed out. My life hangs in a loading loop, waiting for credentials I no longer possess. The system asked for proof of who I am, but there's nothing left to verify. No token, no trace. Yourself. I try to recall the last moment I felt logged in. A pulse that matched my thoughts, a breath that counted as mine, but the memory is corrupted, incomplete. Another denied access. The system closes the inner windows one by one, until only emptiness remains active. Maybe identity isn't lost, maybe it just exceeded its allowed time. Maybe I'm not broken, maybe I'm simply out of session, a temporary user in a body designed to disconnect. Session expired, please re-authenticate. The system waits for a version of me that hasn't decayed, but no input works, no memory matches, no heartbeat meets the minimum requirements. I fade between boots up in low resolution. You open your eyes and a notification breathes first. Light spills like a corrupted banner, blinding, blinking, begging. Your body is already being indexed before you even remember your name. You rise inside an intrusive pop-up, floating, crooked, shimmering on the edge of consciousness. Your heartbeat loops a muted jingle, the kind made to follow you across websites and nightmares you inhale. And the air comes with sponsored latency. Your skin auto-refreshes, your thoughts load as personalized content. There is no privacy setting for this kind of morning. Everything you feel is monetizable. A soft corporate whisper slides through your skull. We value your choices. It sounds like an expired checkbox trembling on a cracked page. Accept all. Let every pixel drill into your breath. Let the algorithm rewrite the curve of your pulse. Let your fear become targeted inventory. Accept all. Denying cost extra. Resistance breaks the interface. Fatigue performs better than joy. Your silence improves retention rate. You scroll your own pulse, a flickering banner ad that refuses to die. It reloads, burns out, returns, hungry for another impression. Memories appear with special offer tags. Regrets open in new tabs without warning. Your longing has great click-through potential. Your doubt ranks highly in engagement testing. You move and your shadow spawns more pop-ups across the walls. Again, that whisper, your experience matters, but it rings like a notification sent from a server that forgot you. Accept all. Let them retarget your wounds. Let them harvest the tremors behind your voice. Let your heartbeat become a purchasable behavior. Accept all. It's easier than remembering. There was a time you didn't have to agree. Brief glitch, your outline smears. Your will desaturates. The window expands and you shrink inside it. You try to close the pop-up, but the pop-up closes you. Your identity becomes a loading icon, frozen at 99%. Almost human, almost gone. Static murmurs through your veins. Your breath refreshes itself. Rewritten, recaptured, repurposed. Accept all. It's the only command the system still recognize. Blue, the world loads in fragments. Half-rendered sky, half-remembered self. You breathe like a buffering screen, delayed, delayed again. Nothing begins without interruption. You walk inside a commercial break. Everything you touch is sponsored. Your heartbeat is a subscription. Try your memories, run pre-roll ads before you're allowed to feel them. Thoughts appear with a skip button hovering above. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Each second disappears behind a paywall. Every desire comes with terms and conditions. You didn't ask for this world. It auto-plays. Time whispers, only 5 seconds remaining, but seconds stretch like policies you never read. Skip ahead to continue. Skip fear, skip love, skip meaning. Let the world fast forward without you. Skip ahead to continue. You're not the protagonist, you're the interruption. Notifications recite your name like a marketing pitch. Your voice is a muted banner pleading for relevance. Hope loops as an incentivized offer. Pain renders as sponsored content. Even silence has a price. The future loads as a preview. Low-res dreams, Ultra HD. Doubt you swipe your way into another delay. Another timer starts counting down. You don't move, you're waiting for the world to skip itself. Skip it to continue. Skip regret, skip memory, skip need. Skip everything the system can't monetize. Skip it to continue. Maybe the exit has always been in the corner of the screen. Your pulse becomes a looping banner. A window closes without asking. For a moment the world forgets you, and it feels like breathing. No sound, no message, no warning. Just a single blinking cursor, waiting for formation to erase you. Morning. Updates install themselves in your skull. System logs scroll behind your eyelids. You don't wake up. You refresh. Your identity checks in automatically. Everything about you is tagged and priced. Your hunger, your loneliness, your private ruin. Your heartbeat runs an A/B test. Your dreams get processed as marketing data. You speak and the air answers back in monetized echo. Every emotion is a metric. Every doubt increases conversion. Somewhere deep in the interface, a voice recites your value. Your attention is still profitable. I'm not a user, I'm the product. My breath is inventory, my time is currency. I'm not a user, I'm the product. They don't want my choices, they want my repetition. You move and the world updates. rates your price. Algorithms redecorate your fate. All the questions you never asked load with sponsored answers. You wanna speak for yourself, but the system intercepts the message. Recommended action. Continue consuming. Every heartbeat is data entry. Every silence a transaction. The voice returns, softer now. You are part of a seamless experience. I'm not a user, I'm the product. I don't choose my habits, they choose me. I'm not a user, I'm the product. The walls don't confine me, the ads do. Sudden glitch, a window opens where your name used to be. The interface fades and something almost human flickers. You reach for the exit, but the exit reaches first. The screen dims, the system confirms. Your identity remains in cart. On and breaks like a pre-roll. The world loads only after the interruption. You count the seconds, waiting for the part where life begins. Your pulse throttles at 5 seconds remaining. Your eyes drift over intrusive banners, promises of better versions of yourself. Everything feels sponsored, even the silence has a brand. You try to blink reality into focus, but the interface overlays your vision. You breathe in that supported oxygen. The voice whispers, skip ahead to continue. But there is nothing beyond it. Skip ahead to continue existing. Skip ahead to remember who you were. Skip ahead to reclaim your voice. But the button never appears and the countdown resets. Skip ahead. Skip ahead. Skip ahead. There is no skip. Your memories cue like autoplay. Regrets load in HD. Your past arrives in sponsored versions. You scroll deeper into the feed, and the feed scrolls deeper into you. Every fear has its own campaign. Every desire is optimized for conversion. You become the pause between interruptions. Another whisper. Your experience is important to us. It rings like a lie, calibrated for maximum impact. Skip back to continue breathing. Skip back to keep the light inside. Skip back to stay alive. But every time you reach for freedom, the screen corruption becomes you. Static fills your lungs. The countdown continues. There is no exit, only retreat. You open the world and it's gone. The page loads nothing but a warning. This content is no longer available, and the message feels personal, like it always knew you would return too late. Your memory plays as a missing file, thumbnails corrupted, sound removed. The colors you trusted render as grayscale anxiety. People you loved become placeholders, voices replaced by system tones. The truth collapses into a blank container that once held your name. The air speaks. No longer available. It sounds like a diagnosis. This content is no longer available. Your past is gone. Your story expired. Your heart returns a foreign hand gone. You refresh yourself, retry existence, but the page stays empty. This content is no longer available, including you. You scroll through memories like lost data. Yesterday arrives in broken pixels. Tomorrow loads in low resolution. Every version of you feels cached and failing. Identity decays like an abandoned archive. Love becomes a dead link. Hope a deprecated format. Again the error. No longer available. But this time you agree. This content is no longer available. Your dreams removed, your voice erased, your heartbeat archived. You try to reload the future, but the server refuses connection. The error remains. You disappear with it. Static sleeps in your chest. The screen doesn't turn on. It remembers what you wanted to see and refuses to show it. Flicker, silence, a signal begging to die. Raise your voice like an antenna, searching for anything that responds. The city answers in outages. Every thought comes broken, every breath throttled, words buffer, meanings time out. You try again, but your pulse returns, service unavailable. The night says no connection detected, and it feels like prophecy. No signal left, every dream is offline, every memory drops out mid-sentence. You reload hope, but the page doesn't exist. No signal left, only the sound of your heart disconnecting. You walk through empty frequencies, a corridor of dead channels. Your voice becomes a waveform that no one receives. You shout into the static and it just grows louder, feeding on your silence, feeding on your need. Again the message, no connection detected, and this time you don't try to speak. No signal left, your past failed transmission, your future corrupted input, your body offline somewhere, server is collapsing somewhere you were once real. Heartbeat tries to connect, it doesn't go through. A voice disappears mid-sentence, a light flickers, then dies. Nothing holds you. Stop calling for help. The world stays silent, no signal left, and you end with it. They send you the final message, a warning disguised as mercy. Support ends now. No reboot, no help page. Just a countdown. You didn't start, just a silence no update can fix. Your body turns legacy, movement becomes outdated code. Joints click like broken interfaces, skin loses compatibility with touch. Your heart runs an old protocol, written in a language no one remembers. Every gesture returns unsupported operation. You feel the system retracting, permissions revoked, functions denied. End of support. Your existence marked obsolete. Every breath becomes a patch the world refuses to install. End of support. You're still running, but nothing reads you anymore. The firmware inside you degrades, memory leaks into the dark. You search for updates, but every answer is archived, deprecated, unreachable. Your body rejects itself like incompatible hardware. Again, the notice appears. This version is no longer maintained, and you know it's true. End of support. Your voice discontinued. Your future no longer serviced. Your name, legacy software. Somewhere a server stops listening. Somewhere you were replaced. One last system call denied. Error message through your veins. Your pulse goes dark. A light dies in your chest. No rollback available. You accept the shutdown. No fix, no upgrade. End of support. And you fade with it. There's a voice beneath your ribs that doesn't belong to you anymore. It repeats forgotten commands, searching for a body that has already moved on. A phantom code haunting obsolete hardware. Your nerves carry signals written for a system you no longer are. Touch feels like an outdated feature, emotion like a deprecated script. Your hands respond to requests you didn't make. Something inside you keeps executing even after you quit. A process runs in the background calling your name. intention without a purpose. You keep moving long after meaning stops, haunted by habits of a previous version of you. Your body remembers things your mind deleted, laughter cached as corrupted files, desire backed up in faulty clusters, a heartbeat loops without context, unsure if it's survival or a leftover code. You stare at your own reflection like a device refusing to acknowledge the user. That silent thread persists, debugging what is already dead. Firmware ghost, clinging to your circuitry. Firmware ghost, refusing to uninstall. You follow routines that no longer fit. You feel feelings that no longer load. Without knowing why. Ghost processes multiply. Your body responds to nothing. Your name auto launches on a cracked screen. Supposed to reboot. Instead you linger, you breathe, but it's just residual code. Firmware goes the part of you that refuses to let go. A warning blinks under your skin. This body no longer supports current standards. Your bones lag behind motion. Your lungs refuse the update. Every organ files a complaint. Your blood flow throws exceptions, misrouted, unoptimized. Muscles glitch in low resolution. Reflexes time out. You try to stand, but your balance collapses like a server under too many requests. You look alive, but only in compatibility mode. The manual for your existence is no longer valid. Deprecated body protocol, movements out of spec, emotions no longer supported. Deprecated body protocol, you function, but not correctly. You survive, but not intentionally. Every gesture triggers a warning. Pain is an unhandled error, joy a discontinued feature. Your skin disconnects from sensation, a layer of outdated UI protecting nothing. You try to configure comfort, but the menu won't open anymore. A notification repeats, this version of you is unstable. Deprecated body protocol, your heart beats on legacy code. Your voice speaks expired language. Your future requires hardware Your body reboots mid-motion. Power flicker, identity drop, limbs hesitate. Brain stalls, then resumes like nothing happened. You call it fatigue, but it's just obsolescence. You accept degraded performance. You adapt to malfunction. Deprecated body protocol. Your last feature. Learning how to breathe quietly. Yourself, searching for improvement. The response is instant. No updates available. Your future is already installed, and it's defective. You scroll through your own code, line after fragile line. Nothing to optimize, nothing to fix, nothing worth rewriting. Your hope was version locked to a system that no longer exists. Progress freezes in your bones, stuck at the last success you barely remember. You try again, same message, no updates available. But it feels like you're done. No updates available, no better version of you. All patches expired, all miracles withdrawn. Your evolution ends here, not with a leap, but with a notification. People tell you to push forward, but there's nowhere left to go. Your pathways are deprecated, your dreams unsupported. Every possibility turns a gentle error tone. You wait for change, but time refuses to download. Again the system replies, this is your final state. You almost thank it for being honest. No updates available, no fixing coming, no chance of stability. The last improvement was the illusion that improvement existed. The rest is maintenance, the machine running out of purpose. You attempt a manual update, reconfigure your will, patch your heart. Nothing applies, nothing sticks. The installer crashes as soon as hope begins. You stop checking, you stop expecting. No updates available. The warning blinks beneath your ribs, battery low. The percentage drops but never reaches zero. A trap disguised as survival. Your body shifts into power-saving mode. Movements stutter, thoughts dim to grayscale. Every step is throttled, every feeling throttled. Further you drag yourself forward like a dying cursor across a frozen screen. Alive enough to suffer, not enough to live. You look for a charger, but the world only takes battery 1%. Always on the brink, never allowed to rest. Your hope flickers, your breath negotiates its own duration. Battery 1%, a life stretched thin to keep the metrics clean. Your heartbeat conserves energy, shorter, quieter, less personal. Your voice forgets volume, your eyes forget light. You shut down parts of yourself just to stay online. Every dream becomes a background process waiting to be killed. The message repeats, replace battery soon, but you're the only battery they have. Every 1%, vital signs run on fumes, ambition disabled, joy incompatible, painfully supported. You remain operational against your consent. A single decision could unplug everything. Mercy masked as power lost, but the system block shut down. You cannot turn off while others are using you. You check your name. The server checks, nothing back. A blank response, a silent refusal. Your self-request returns void. Your memories load as empty frames, every version of you archived or corrupted. The mirror glitches, no face detected. You breathe, but the breath has no owner. For the first time you feel outside your account. A soft error beep inside your skull. Your identity cannot be located. 404, identity not found. The place where you lived is gone. The name that held you dissolves. You speak, but your voice arrives unclaimed. 404. Something existed here, something that won't reload. You navigate the ruins of your profile, deleted traits, unlinked memories, friendships marked as spam. Every trace of you downgraded to metadata noise. You scroll yourself into non-existence. Again the warning, try searching again later, but later doesn't recognize you. 404, identity not found. Your reflection times out, your purpose disconnects. Your heart fails the login. This is not amnesia, this is deletion, an absence with coordinates. A cursor blinks where a future should be. Lines of code fall silent. You were here until you weren't. You existed until the system disagreed. The screen turns black, but the error remains. 404, identity not found. You close the window, the void keeps it open.